Hello everyone, this is Cyber Eric with another gameplay overview and impressions. This is for Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, the latest action side scroller, and as always, I actually kind of like to start with the options to get them out of the way. The game does have accessibility options, which again, I'll turn off for this video, but you can always enable them. Here's the controls if you want to pause it, etc, etc. Yeah, but for here, yeah, we basically gotta go over the gameplay, some of the actions, how the game works, and kind of go over all the aspects of it. But before I keep going on, please like and subscribe. It helps this channel and move us forward with this. So again, this is basically the straight up prologue and tutorial. And I kind of wanted to show you how it goes. And again, first thing playing it, the first thing I saw was like, press start for challenges. Obviously, yeah, the game has challenges. Every map will have a couple of challenges. And they have collectibles. This is your classic side scroller. Not beat 'em up, but basically movement, action adventure game, right? So basic movement and basic combat here. Basically, you're running around. You press X to attack, etc., etc. I'm playing here on an Xbox controller, right? But I'm playing this on PC, and basically, it actually feels extremely smooth when you're walking around and do it. And again, you're basically going around. It's like, okay, perfect. You can climb. Very classic Ninja Gaiden. And again, testing out the buttons. This is literally my first playthrough. I didn't plan or any of the stuff. So the footage you're seeing is basically me trying things out for the first time ever. And it's like, again, it feels pretty smooth. Pretty nice. Again, enemies go down pretty much with one hit. Very classic NES, Nintendo original system gameplay. And again, moving around here. Controls are actually pretty quick too. You will feel a lot of smoothness out of this. This is extremely smooth. Actually, the developers are called The Game Kitchen. I wanted to call them out. They did a great job here. And again, you can also wall climb here. You can climb up the ceilings, you can climb on the sides, and that'll be a very mechanic you will use a lot throughout the game. There's also checkpoints that you saw there. For example, moving along, again, this is the next act. Real quick here. And the game starts Kenji, Ninja Gaiden Kenji, and you will also see Ryu Hayabusa, as you see here. Very classic Ninja Gaiden character, right? For the 3D Ninja Gaiden games. And he'll basically be showing up in the game, etc., etc. So what I'm showing here is what's called the guillotine boost, or what we want to call it, the ninja boost jump. Basically, you run around when you press, instead of us having a second jump, you basically can do this little like area in the air, and you can basically use it to jump and use it. And it's basically your number one technique for platforming puzzles, etc., etc. So right, another thing that comes from the game is basically attacking, right? There's still going to be different modes of attack. And one of the things you will see when you're playing the game is going to be your hyper charge at. There's basically some enemies will be glowing like that, and then you see, now I'm here on supercharged, and that'll make it so that you can kill those bigger enemies with one hit. You can kill them normally, usually, with multiple attacks, but you're going to take damage. So probably what you want to do is basically kill the little ones that are glowing there, and then you can kill the big ones with one shot. And here I am using the little boost again, where basically moves around, and again, once again, enemies come out. The game's completely designed this way. It's like you'll see an enemy glowing, perfect. You know there's an enemy behind there. There's also little items here, for example, a golden scarab. I'll explain what those are in a second. Moving around here, you also see those blue orbs. Those are your kind of like health pickups. You know, moving around and grab them, etc., etc. So that's a checkpoint. I know you see this is like a boss battle. You will see a lot of boss battles in this game. They're a lot of fun. They're basically learn the patterns, figure them out, and you basically can do it without getting hit. Right now, this is literally the first time I'm fighting this guy, so I just decided I'm just gonna spam the attack button, which again might not be the best strategy for this. And potentially, if you use the assist mode that I showed at the beginning, it'll be extremely easy because you probably won't take damage. But right now, I'm just basically seeing, let me see if I can run him down as quickly as possible. And again, it is working for me. I do not recommend it, but here, that's my good tactic. Get close when he does the fireball. Just spam the heck out of it. You should be able to kill him. Either way, that's basically a boss battle. Again, you'll see plenty of those throughout the game as you play along. So, and again, here's basically the actual level. I try to also show gameplay as it happens, not many cuts. You actually get to see the actual moment-to-moment gameplay of how it is. And again, I'm skipping the story and cutscenes what they're saying because again, this is the first mission, but I kind of don't want to cover that. So either way, obviously after each mission is completed, you're gonna be judged. I probably usually got A's and B's. I never got to an S, of course. And there's also like a level select, right? Which you select the different missions that you can go on. And there's gonna be secret levels here, etc., etc., from the start, and you will be able to know what that acts you're going on, right? This is Act 3, the 1-3 that I'm going into next, etc., etc. And you'll be able to select all those things as you move around, and you can replay the levels a lot. So again, another thing you want to see is the upgrade system, or talismans, if you will. So basically, as you run around, it's not an RPG where you can level up, but you'll be able to have what we call talismans, which will basically give you specs, abilities, etc., etc., or boosts to particular things. Like, for example, extra melee when you have low damage. Whenever you reach a checkpoint, you heal. That's the one that I bought here. And basically, you can buy them. So you also, that's why you also want to explore the levels and find those golden scarabs, because they're going to be your currency for buying these little dragon talismans. And again, you can equip up to 2, at least from what I've seen, and they'll help you out throughout the missions, and you will unlock new ones as you move along. Here I am basically trying it out. I'm like, okay, so maybe I should buy one before I leave. But pretty straightforward. You've seen this in many games in the past, but it's a good way to kind of test different things out in the game, right? What else? After this, and again, showing that basically I got one of those, etc., etc. Moving around, nothing to see here. Moving forward, you're gonna find another character called Kamuri. Kamuri is gonna be another ninja you're gonna meet throughout the game. And again, I'm not gonna show specific gameplay, but I'm gonna show some of her gameplay now. So she's very similar in terms of movement to Kenji, the main character, but she basically throws blades. She throws them pretty fast. You feel free to spam them. But you can only shoot left or right or up and down. By the way, you can't shoot at an angle. But basically, that's basic style. Again, I won't show too much of her gameplay because I kind of want to keep it sort of like for you guys to figure it out. But you'll have the same kind of things where enemies will glow, you'll hit them, you'll supercharge your attack, and you'll be able to take out those big guys in one shot. But again, you can still kill them without it. That's just basic gameplay for her. And I'll go over some of the more aspects of what happens later on. But again, this is still pretty early in the game. The game also has bike levels. Bike levels are basically this on rails levels. It reminds me a lot of the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games from the NES. If you remember playing those, you played them again and again and again and again. You'll get these warnings when something's coming. Remember, you can do your boost for your jump thing that I showed earlier. So perfect, you can do that there. And again, I'm just running around trying to practice it. Again, don't worry about the level per se. It's an on-rails shooter. These are actually just more like a break in the gameplay, but they're a lot of fun, actually. They're fun to do. You will have to kind of potentially replay them if you want to capture the different items, because again, you'll see here there's like an indication for here's one of the golden scarabs. Feel free to pay attention to it so you can grab it, kind of thing. But again, these are levels you'll see a little bit throughout the game. They're a lot of fun to actually play. Alright, so what else? Next is the red and blue auras, and I want to also show real quick the Ragebound art. So obviously, you're gonna have these two auras later in the game, where you're gonna have both blue and red auras. So basically, you're gonna kind of be uniting Kenji and Kamura's gameplay style into like one character. So now Kenji can attack with the sword, but he can also shoot his kunai. You're gonna have different powers, and that's basically gonna be the big setup for the game. Once you get into the flow of things, you're gonna get these things called Rage Orbs, which again I'll show it in a second what they actually do. Basically, you're gonna be now super powered, and again, the game now flows extremely well once you get into the hang of this. It's starting, I think, around Act 2. Well, you're gonna get this Ragebound art, which is basically the ulti, which is like kind of screen wipe, if you will, kind of thing. I've only actually used it once, the one time I did it here, and then I played a couple of more missions, but I almost forgot I had it. But here, that's an additional item you can do, and you can also change that in the accessibility options. Another thing you can do is the Demon Altars, which is basically, once you get it, you're gonna have Kamura here as a kind of spirit with you, and again, I won't go into specific as to why, but basically you're gonna have her where you can switch to her, and you're gonna have this nice, fun puzzle-ish mini games where you're gonna be platforming with her. They are timed, so you basically just get to try them again, etc., etc. If you fail them, I'm like, oh, I figured it out. I'm like, okay, perfect. I just need to do this. I need to actually learn how to play the game. And again, this is literally in the first hour and a half, 2 hours of playing the game. So basically, here you go. Once you complete the little mini game, it comes back. You keep going with the story, etc., etc. And there you go. And again, that's most of the basics that I wanted to show for the gameplay overview. Again, it's just a quick overview. It's truly a lot of fun. So here's my quick overall impressions of the game. Again, this is, I think, is a fantastic side scroller. I think the Game Kitchen, the developers of Blasphemous and other games, they did a fantastic job here. I love this game. I really love the animation. I think the challenges, particularly later on in the game, gets a little bit difficult, but you can always go to accessibility options. You're gonna have different bosses, etc., etc. And you can telegraph them. Once you play them a couple of times, you'll be like, oh, it's easy. Every time he does this animation, I know exactly where to go. Again, this is the first time me fighting this guy, so I'm literally figuring him out. By the second or third try, I basically got him down. Yeah, and again, excellent level design. No, it was very hard to put down. I basically played non-stop for 3 or 4 hours the first session playing this game. There's gonna be secrets here and there. There's gonna be items. There's gonna be secret walls, etc., etc. Secret challenges, and the challenges actually give you a lot of replayability. Again, it's just a great nostalgia trip. But yeah, it is an excellent game. I would actually highly recommend it to anybody. And if I gave it a review, it would be a 9. Again, this is just a quick impression. I haven't actually finished the game. But with that, that's mostly it for this Ninja Gaiden gameplay overview and impressions that I wanted to do. I wanted to remind to please like and subscribe. And as always, that is all for today, everybody. Have a good one, everyone.